The Locked Mermaid, Wagwan, Osunyemi. What's happening? Hello to the people, ladies and gentlemen, of course, and everybody out here in the world. I woke up late. I woke up too late for the gym. I was supposed to check the gym out this morning. I woke up too late. So, what's up, Ayasha? Pronounced Aisha. So I decided, you know what? Let me be. I don't know if I'm the first one or not. I don't know if I'm the first one covering this apparent fallout. But, share the video because, I'm going to try to be as balanced as I possibly can. You know what I mean? Balanced and common sensible. I'm more like a mediator, naturally speaking. I'm more like the type to be mediating issues or conflicts between parties. That's what I've done for a while. And we're going to be covering, well, first, let me start off with the introductory song, right? How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh, aren't we bad? Goodbye. I mean, that's sort of the type of energy that I was getting from the video of Sweet Ma for Life. A goodbye and goodbye to an apparent friendship. So there's a few things that I have to deal with preliminarily at first before we get into the little beef. A few things that I learned that I didn't know before about their relationship, about both of them, each of them. And you never really know people online until you become friends with them online, until you may even communicate with them offline, until you exchange numbers, send each other gifts. And then at some point, that's when you begin to know the real person. So with that being said, I can't claim to know either one of them, right? I've never called either one of them, I don't think. Yeah, I've never called any one of them. I can't say I've been heavily watching either channel, but so I'm laying out my relationship, trying to show I'm objective. I've never had any beef with either party. I would never listen to anyone's video if they themselves had a beef with Sweet Ma for Life, if they themselves have been out here having beef with the T, and I don't know who has. I don't know who has not, right? I have followed Sweet Ma for Life, in a sense, because she's been calling out the narcissists as she sees it, right? She's sort of like one of the narcissist hunter queens, which puts people in a dangerous predicament. It's easy for people who are narcs to possibly come after you, make videos about you if they're big YouTuber narcs. And I don't know, they could even harass you possibly. So that's my relationship to both parties. I don't know them. As far as the T is concerned, y'all know me. Like, I haven't really watched a Nature Boy video like that. I've seen some from the T, and I've even made some videos based on the T's video a little bit. And I guess I'm definitely glad she hasn't flagged, but I don't think, again, my channel has never been about what Nature Boy is doing day by day. My channel has never been about, what the women are doing day by day. My channel has been generally about respecting and honoring the women who leave. You know what I'm saying? The men who leave, their desire to expose, and obviously the parents of the people who leave. And it's been generally accepted that that Nature Boy is, this thing called a narcissist. kind of a weirdo as well. The way I look at him is a weirdo because he's a gay black man, a gay escort, attempting to be straight, attempting to be polygamous, attempting to be some guru, and he's failed at every turn. Now it's become sort of a love and hip hop situation, and I don't really care about what Nature Boy is doing. And it's like that. My first time I noticed the T and Sweet Ma for Life is when they joined forces with other women like Stinson Has the Soup. They joined forces together as a powerful, online crew of women who ostensibly cared about Velvet. They were out here on Bigo. Sweet Ma for Life was marketing it, promoting it. The tea, Sweet Ma for Life. Stinson Has the Soup. And another woman or two maybe coming together to really try to, interview Velvet at the end of the day, because they weren't about supporting no narcissist, and they were all about relating to Velvet, right? I mean, at one point in that interview with Velvet, I thought, they were going to take over because there's a lot of people who've been dealing with narcs. So I had assumed a lot of people dealt with narcs, like Sweet Mom for Life and all of that. So that's my first time I've seen the tea come out, if you will, if you want to use that phrase, I'm coming out. That's the first time I saw the T come out, using her voice. Another time the T came out using her voice as opposed to just recording and being like the Carbonation's diary or Carbonation's journal with no commentary. Another time I saw her come out was when they were doing the chapter by chapter reading of that Sybil woman who nobody's seen since, and her book, How to Escape or How to Get Out of a Cult. These women were reading each chapter at first couple chapters, and then they stopped it at some point. So I hadn't even heard of the T's voice, you know what I mean? And Sweet Mom for Life, like I said, she's gone after narcissists, from Young Pharaoh most recently, Nature Boy, and I guess she would call Unwind with Tasha K a kind of a narc. But rarely do you see Sweet Mom for Life going at women narcs, or women who claim to be narcs. So that's my little introduction, y'all. I don't know much about either party. The only thing I've seen so far is a bit of Sweet Mom for Life's video last night. And I was thrown back. I was thrown off by the title. I was like, wow, what's going on between Sweet Mom for Life and the T? They were both basically trying to relate to and comfort and make whole and give a voice to Velvet, right? They were all about supporting Velvet, all about supporting the victim of a narc like Nature Boy, a victim of the narc like Nature Boy. So I'm like, what the hell is this? Sweet Ma for Life is making a video, and I couldn't see any videos from the T with Sweet Ma's name in it. So at first I was like, what the hell is Sweet Ma talking about? What is she talking about? The T is some narc. What is she talking about? The T ain't make no video. I'm looking at the T's channel. I'm like, hey, Sweet Ma. But she ain't hear me because I'm not talking to her. I was like, hey, Sweet Ma, what you talking about? Narcissism. There ain't no video up there with your name on it, so how can she be calling you out? But anyway, let's get into it though for a second. This will not be a long video at all. Share the video. Share the video. Again, when I first started making videos about Nature Boy, there was no the T. There was no any other person who we see today as a Nature Boy reporter or diary journalist type of channel. There was none of that. There was no dudes covering, right? I think there's been battles between Sweet Ma for Life and World News. But when I started, there was no real world news involved. There was nobody covering the Nature Boy thing. And since then, it's become a Nature Boy industrial complex, a Nature Boy carbonation industrial complex where people feel like they're getting fame. People feel like they are the number one reporters, and you better not go to that other reporter's channel, and I'm the one who's really reporting. I'm above and beyond all of that, right? Because there wasn't nobody really covering the Nature Boy thing. And I'm not out here needing to be known as that. Shout out to Flurbrun, shout out to Sika, shout out to other people who were also there, you know, and then things started happening. So I've been able to have a perspective on this Nature Boy saga and the reporters saga that very few people have, right? From the outside in. I'm looking down on I'm looking on these motherfuckers, seeing what they're doing. So now we're fast forwarding it today, and Sweet Mom for Life is out here calling the T a narcissist. I'm like, what? How, Sway? How, Sway? But then you get into the video by Sweet Mom for Life. You get into the understanding that she knows the T and that they've been talking with each other back and forth for a while, even calling the T friends, you know, and gifts exchange or whatever between the two. But then Sweet Mom for Life talked about a video that's no longer up on the T's channel. Apparently a couple of videos, and this all centers around young Pharaoh, believe it or not, and his baby mama, Golden Beauty, and the reaction to that. Now, many people, most people with any common sense, right, have been looking at young Pharaoh and Nature Boy like, wow, they have similar characteristics. They seem to be similar. Even though young Pharaoh has come out to try to distinguish himself from Nature Boy by exposing Nature Boy's gayness, exposing Nature Boy's gay escort ways, the gay porno star, seeming to really care, I guess, about exposing Nature Boy. And I've done video myself recently on people who are narcissists online, right? People who, and I've talked about research that I've seen where you notice where someone has researched and done the studies that people who watch narcissists regularly may start to develop narcissistic traits themselves. And again, I wasn't one who actually watched Nature Boy's live videos. I never followed the dude online, never followed his Instagram. I guess I was more like a see what other people are doing, and then I make my own unique content from that. So I'm listening to Sweet Ma, and she's talking about the tea like a dog. She's talking about the tea like a dog, and it seems as if Sweet Ma had some audio from the videos that the T must have either made private or the T must have deleted those videos altogether, where she's interviewing young Pharaoh, right? Interviewing him, like giving him a voice and a space online after he's already been sort of exposed or known as a person who has abused a baby mama or so in the past. But anyway, the audio the audio that Sweet Mom for Life played of the T, it's out of nowhere. It's the T saying, first of all, I'm gay as fuck. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? She's gay as fuck. So now it's a revelation or a coming out, another kind of coming out where she's using her voice, and this for some reason letting everybody know she's gay as fuck. And that part is the interesting part because this gay as fuck individual interviewed young Pharaoh, who in that interview, young Ma was showing and letting it be known that young Pharaoh was basically disparaging certain black women and disparaging the LGBT community right in the face of this gay as fuck the T channel, and there was no pushback. There was no challenge of young Pharaoh's position. There was none of that, almost as if there was nothing gay as fuck about the T. And again, I don't care. I don't need to know if the T is gay as fuck. Nobody has made that accusation. Nobody has said anything. Apparently, Young Ma for Life, Sweet Ma for Life, has known this already, that she may be gay, and she chose not to say anything. That's neither here nor there. She goes on. Sweet Ma for Life is basically now making these videos because she felt like the T was shading her or calling her out and shading Golden Beauty, as opposed to being critical of a young Pharaoh type of dude, almost as if maybe young Pharaoh and the T may have had some special understanding where the T would not speak ill of young Pharaoh, where the T would not call young Pharaoh a narcissist, although the T has been openly calling and considering Nature Boy a narcissist. So in this video that she plays, there's an audio of the T where she's speaking about narcissism. She's speaking about YouTubers out here talking about narcs and how dare they just call somebody a narc. You know, this video that the T made was in response to the young Pharaoh and Golden Beauty situation. And it's almost seeming as if the T was basically looking at both sides of the story. How young Golden Beauty is and how women like her should really get up, stand up for their own individual rights and never depend on no man, right? Never depend on a man. Like, I guess the T has never depended on a man for anything in any kind of a relationship situation. Again, now everybody knows that the T is gay as fuck in her own words. I don't care. I think it's interesting if she's gay as fuck because she's been covering Nature Boy, who I know is gay as fuck, who I've always seen as one of the gayest, weirdest, filthiest, most toxic individuals out here. Trying to be straight, trying to be polygamy, trying to be a guru, but he has no elder to speak of. He has no mental health experience to speak of. So slowly but surely, I started understanding where Sweet Mouth for Life was coming from. Like, wow, it does sort of sound like this T person is giving her some shade. And even saying, the T said, if you don't like my video about young Pharaoh, fuck you, right? Which is like, oh, okay. Which is like, okay, we can't like the video. I never saw the interview. If I've ever seen that somebody was interviewing young Pharaoh, I wouldn't even watch it live as it is because, again, I put him in the same category almost, in a sense, as a Nature Boy only because of the allegations of domestic situations and the control maybe factor and the desire to be seen as the leader for black people, people who he may call a weak ass black community, right? So I wouldn't have watched that interview anyway. I wouldn't have respected it, anything, because I didn't respect interviews of Nature Boy. I didn't respect people going live with Nature Boy, you know, trying to understand what that mind really is, and they don't never challenge these people. So it becomes like a weird thing. But anyway, I started looking and seeing the case that Sweet Ma for Life was laying out. Now, I didn't watch the whole 4 hours of video on the T situation that Sweet Ma has on her channel. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched enough of it to where I was hearing the T's voice and how she said a couple of times, if y'all don't like it, fuck you. Or she said, be direct about it. Come tell me to my face that you don't like the Young Pharaoh video, which again is weird because you're used to seeing the T channel not be really emotionally involved or personally involved in any story of any of these dudes online. She's more and leave it up to you all to decide. And again, it's a recording of things every day. And I've never followed, I don't think I've ever subscribed to the T online or YouTube or Instagram. And it became very interesting because there's this discussion by the T about narcissism. She's claiming she didn't know what narcissism is and how you shouldn't really go out here calling people narcs. We should really call out their behaviors, she said. And then she would also, I guess, was calling Sweet Ma for Life a narc, to the point where Sweet Ma for Life said she had to go take a step back and listen to the what the T accused her of, and she started looking up what a covert narcissist was. And her first conclusion was, wait a minute, this is not me. I don't know why the T's got me thinking it's me when this covert narcissist may be the T. And I was like, whoa, so they're friends. And Sweet Ma for Life has came to a point where she started noticing the T was calling her a narc, but she said the T herself is the narc. Even to the point where saying the T had sent Sweet Ma for Life something in the mail, right? Gave it to her, whatever it was. And then the next thing you know, Sweet Ma says the T typed or texted her, sent the UPS person to Sweet Ma for Life's house just to get that gift back, just to take it back. I want it back. So, ladies and gentlemen, something is going on here. You know, something is really wrong. I made a video about people that could be narcissists. And I did say that the research, the little bit of study that I did, is that black men and women have a higher prevalence of this narcissism than many other people. And one of the issues that I thought about was the women, and that there may be women narcissists online. And if there's two women that used to be friends have an open falling out, I said that chances are one of them is the narc, or maybe it could be both of them. I don't know. But I'm sitting here like, what the hell is going on? People are calling each other bitch. They seem to really Sweet Mom for Life seems to really dislike this young lady. And I'm just want to say this one thing before we close out here, ladies and gentlemen. And you tell me your comments too, because the whole time Sweet Mom for Life was looking kind of crazy, like at the beginning. Sweet Mom for Life was looking kind of crazy only because she's talking about some video that the T made, and it's not even on the T's channel. So it's like, what's going on? But then you find out and you learn that according to Sweet Mouth for Life, those videos were deleted. The video where she interviewed young Pharaoh, and young Pharaoh is out there disparaging, disrespecting the LGBT community, of which the T is a gay as fuck member. She took down that video. She also, I think, took down another video where she may be doing this sort of breakdown of young Pharaoh and Golden Beauty, and all the while sending subliminal shots directly at Sweet Ma for Life. Took them down. As you all may know, if you've listened to Sweet Ma for Life, she is a mother, okay? I believe her son's name is Amir or Amir, depending on how you pronounce it. This kid is what is called a special needs kid, right? And Sweet Ma for Life and the T obviously talk about their private situations, their personality, how they feel about things, any kind of disorders they may have probably. And Sweet Ma for Life shared with the T that she's got PTSD, a lot of issues that she confronted. She neglected certain things in her personal life, like a lot of people do when you're facing trauma, dealing with your own baby, your own child, having, I think it's cerebral palsy. Her child has some sort of special needs, right? So she informed Sweet Ma for Life. She informed Sweet Ma for Life of certain things that really make her even more post-traumatically stressed. And one of those things is whenever she sees pictures of women with a belly or pregnant women smiling, healthy baby, she has issues seeing that. So she said that the T sent her a message in the DM of just a woman with a healthy baby, a pregnant belly. And she said she wondered why. She was like, the T, why did you send me that when you know I have issues whenever I see pregnant women and bellies. Why would you send that to me? She sent it apparently with no caption, with no explanation. So she said that the T said, ignore it. Ignore it? How could she ignore something to that degree if it's true that you sent her a picture of a bellied woman, pregnant, healthy? So Sweet Mom for Life started noticing different jabs in their personal life, and she shared them with the people in a video. And she's called out the T for being narcissist, for not being the best friend, and she gave her best case scenario, her best evidence. And I would say, objectively speaking, why in the world would you delete or take down a video, especially one where you're interviewing young Pharaoh? Like, why would that be taken down? Is there something about that video that other people should not see, or she doesn't want people to see? Why take the video down about the conversation or her opinions on young Pharaoh and Golden Beauty, where she's sort of sending subliminal shots to Golden Beauty, like, get up off your feet, ladies. You know, you shouldn't be basically barefoot and pregnant with any man. You should not be out here. You should get yourself some degrees and some college in you so you can fall back on something, right? And saying things like, yeah, well, you know, I heard young Pharaoh was out here scamming people on some YouTube case. But it was the T that allegedly said, yeah, but guess who was right next to young Pharaoh, you know, as all of that money was coming in for the YouTube supposed lawsuit? Almost saying that this young lady, who is definitely a victim of some sort, was profiting and benefiting the whole time. And she should have known, or I don't know what that's about. But it is so unbelievable that I just have to play just a little bit of this interview for y'all real quick. Real quick, y'all. Listen to this.
Special needs children, okay? And how they're able to walk now, or how they're able to do this or that now, right? So in my head, I'm kind of like, why would she send this when she knows that I can't handle this stress? So anyway, I write her and I said, what is this about? What was this for? This person that talks to me 24/7 took 7 hours to open my message. My baby looks so sassy. Hi, baby. You want? No, I'm beefing. I'm not putting him on this video. My baby looks too sassy. He's smiling. I should put him, right? They're going to say I'm using my baby. No, they're going to say I'm using my baby. We're going to show him in a second. Let me finish telling him this story first, okay? I'm going to show him in a second, y'all. Because the T want to come for me. Baby girl, don't send for me if you're not ready. She not ready. She not ready. She not ready. Hey. Anyway. So what happened was I messaged her like, what is this about? She doesn't answer me for 7 hours. She opens the message and then she goes, just ignore it. I swear for everything. Right hand. She said, just ignore it.
So she definitely feels triggered. And the best way you know you're being triggered is when someone you know, again, Sweet Mom for Life knows the T more than any of y'all, more than anybody out here in this thing called, now, I guess now the T is part of the sector. And Sweet Mom for Life knows the T, knows the insides and outs, and she knows, and she's had way more experience than any of y'all. And so far, we have no video from the T. We have 2 videos that she decided to take down. She took down the video, almost as a way to say, just ignore those videos too. Just ignore those things too.
Buying?
Let's see if we can hear some more of the T's voice herself.
Now, because a person is toxic does not automatically make them a narcissist, okay? That's number one. Number two, we should be very careful about labeling people as such.
She says we should be careful labeling people as such, but I believe the T had labeled Nature Boy a narcissist among many different things. Again, when the T, Sweet Mom for Life, Stinson Has a Soup, other people had the interview with Velvet, that was the whole point. To get more information, to really be emotional and caring and considerate to this victim, Velvet, about this narcissist. And this is a victim who went back to Nature Boy twice, went back to Nature Boy 3 times after allegedly being beat up. And the women here were supporting the women, right? The T was and Sweet Mouth for Life was supporting the woman, Velvet, and disparaging and disrespecting the dude alleged to have done these things to her. So people are going to wonder what it is about the T that made her, not want to do. Maybe has she tried to get an interview with Golden Beauty? What makes her now sort of just say, yeah, young Pharaoh may be toxic, but we should be careful and not call him narcissist.
Medical training. And that's just on period, you know?
Okay, so she's gonna say we should be careful not labeling people being a narcissist without medical training. She does not have medical training, but yet she's diagnosing me as a narcissist. That's pretty weird. She calls Nature Boy a narcissist. She watches Young Pharaoh, but doesn't see any narcissistic traits. That's kind of weird.
She's making some good points. It's kind of weird, if any of this stuff is true. Now, hold on. I want to hear that other part where the T is basically like, I'm gay as fuck. That part was strange.
Down on anybody, the way they live their life.
That
what
part
you
was
do
strange.
Is screen record other people's living theirs.
When the
but
T
you
said,
have the nerve to come
I'm gay as fuck.
In your last video, we're going to get to it. Yeah, we're going to get to it right now. I had to.
So according to Sweet Mom for Life, it was the last video that the T conveniently deleted, that I never watched, that I never saw, that she's talking about here.
Guys know, and we have enough people in here, so we're going to share the screen. Since you want to delete videos, now you're going to know why I came for you. Anybody thinks that I'm being an asshole, I'm not. Let's get it.
So number one, I have absolutely no regrets about the interview. If you have a problem with the fact that I did interview him, fuck you. I have had a lot of people send me clips. I know that there are people out there that have thrown shade at me because of the interview that I did with Young Pharaoh and his thoughts on a number of topics, namely the LGBT community, Black women in general, the Black community perhaps.
We're going to rewind that because she said fuck you to anybody that has an issue with her interview with Young Pharaoh, where she was doing a little too much. Let's listen.
So number one, I have absolutely no regrets about the interview. If you have a problem with the fact that I did.
No regrets about the interview, so why take it down off your channel? That's sort of a major sign that you have a regret about the interview, about something about that interview you didn't like and you didn't want anybody else to see. Why take down that video is the general objective question.
Him, fuck you. I have had a lot of people send me clips. I know that there are people out there that have thrown shade at me because of the interview that I did with Young Pharaoh and his thoughts on a number of topics, namely the LGBT community, Black women in general, the Black community perhaps. And let me just say this. One of the makings of a good interviewer is someone who is able to objectively speak with a person whose ideals do not align with their own. So although there was a lot that was said in the interview that I didn't agree with, from my soul, from my heart, from the core of my being, I still held it together and I understood the assignment and got it the fuck done. So any shade that was thrown at me, I'm throwing it right back at you. Fuck you.
She said,
you have
fuck
a problem
you.
With me that I didn't agree with.
So this is Immortal Karma. This is Sweet Mom for Life saying, yeah, it was me that threw shade on people who would throw softballs to young Pharaoh. This is Immortal. It's just Sweet Mom for Life saying, yeah, I was throwing shade. And this is the T saying, fuck you.
From my soul, from my heart, from the core of my being, I still held it together, and I understood the assignment and got it the fuck done. So any shade that was thrown at...
She said she understood the assignment as if someone else gave her assignment, as if she was sort of put in a weird position where she's gotta interview young Pharaoh almost like reluctantly or begrudgingly, when if it was her idea to interview the dude, it's not an assignment. It's something that she wants to do.
I'm throwing it right back at you. Fuck you. If you have a problem with anything that I have said or done, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I really don't. With that said, I just want to speak very briefly, and maybe not. I might, what, fuck it. I have a tendency to be long-winded, so I probably won't be speaking briefly on this. Let me just express my thoughts. There's a lot that you guys don't know about me because I choose to be fairly private when it comes to my personal life.
And we don't care about nobody's personal life. You know what I mean?
And listen to her. She says she doesn't give a fuck. But I will explain to you how she gives so many fucks that she did this 40-minute video, really 30-something minutes. But she shades me throughout the entire video, what is entitled My Thoughts on Golden Beauty and Young Pharaoh Situation. Why are you shading me throughout the whole thing? This was your way to vent. This was your way to express yourself. This was your way to have a I'm coming out party. For what? You did that on your own. Don't say that I pushed you to do it. Don't say anything. You did that on your own. Okay, so take accountability. Because in that video, all you kept talking about is accountability this, accountability that. Take accountability for triggering me. Okay, take accountability for that. And now you're going to have to reap what you sow. You start with somebody like me, expect for me to finish. Listen to this.
But there is one thing that I'm just going to say. Because in my personal life, I'm gay as fuck, okay? I've actually never been with a man, and that includes sexually. I've never slept with a man or anything like that. I've never been in a relationship with a man.
So that tells me you shouldn't be talking about no heterosexual relationships as if you know what people should be doing. I don't know if the T person has ever been in an abusive relationship with a woman. Because I've heard of those situations where a woman is in an abusive relationship with a woman. I dated one. She was telling me about this woman she was living with, her ex. And this ex of hers just started beating on her and physically and psychologically jacking her life up, all because this woman who I started dating said she wanted to have babies the natural way. And that tripped off her lesbian live-in lover, that tripped her off and mentally, and then she started physically beating her up. So I'm saying that a woman who is lesbian can't be advising no heterosexual women. The woman who's lesbian can't tell you nothing about what it is to be with a man. A woman who's never been with a man shouldn't be talking about any of that whole subject, objectively speaking. I have a family member that's a lesbian. Her lover cut her. So I'm going to rewind that a little bit because I was like, what?
You did that on your own. Don't say that I pushed you to do it. Don't say anything. You did that on your own. Okay, so take accountability. Because in that video, all you kept talking about is accountability this, accountability that. Take accountability for triggering me. Okay, take accountability for that. And now you're going to have to reap what you sow. You start with somebody like me, expect for me to finish. Listen to this.
Listen.
But there is one thing that I'm just going to say. Because in my personal life, I'm gay as fuck, okay? I've actually never been with a man, and that includes sexually. I've never slept with a man or anything like that. I've never been in a relationship with a man. I have only been with women all of my life. And so...
Nobody asked her to do this. She's doing this on her own. Just know that I never threatened to
I mean, what is young Pharaoh going to think about this? What is young Pharaoh, a guy that Sweet Mom for Life is saying that the T was enabling or coddling in the interview? How was young Pharaoh going to think now that he was being interviewed by, a LGBT member or a lesbian who's never dated no man, you know, and who knows what her opinions are about a black man. You know, sometimes some black lesbians, like the ones who were leaders of the Black Lives Matter situation, made all that money, bought some private properties, and on that website, they wanted to do away with the nuclear family. They want to have nothing to do really with respecting and loving and cherishing anything about a black man. So you got to wonder now, what kind of lesbian is the T? Because there are some who understand the deal, who know what the agenda is. You know, there's a dude out here called the gay Malcolm X. He doesn't like that name, but he's such a conscious individual, spitting some facts, right? They call him Malcolm X on the side. But he also admits that there is a gay agenda out here. So one thing I want my viewers to understand, that it's not necessarily a contradiction for a gay person to understand a young pharaoh's position on the LGBT agenda, because this dude known as the gay Malcolm X was selfless enough to admit that there is some sort of agenda out here targeting black young boys from the LGBT community, which many people know is led by a lot of white folks, which many people know a lot of white folks could still be racist. So we don't know if, right, we know the T is gay as fuck, but we don't know what type of lesbian she is. Is she the black man hating lesbian or not? I don't know. We don't know based on Nature Boy, because Nature Boy is also LGBT community. Nature Boy is several of those letters all in one person. So let's play it again.
Never said anything. Okay. Me throughout the whole thing. This was your way to vent. This was your way to express yourself. This was your way to have a I'm coming up party. For what? You did that on your own. Don't say that I pushed you to do it.
Share the
Don't say
video.
anything. You
Press
did
that
on
like
your
button.
own. Okay, so take accountability, because in that video,
Press
all you're
that
talking
like
about
button.
is
Get it up. Get it up.
accountability that. Take accountability for triggering me. Okay, take accountability for that, and now you're gonna have to reap what you sow.
Hell hath no fury like a woman triggered.
Start with somebody like me. Expect for me to finish. Listen to this.
Press that like button.
But there is one thing that I'm just gonna say, because in my personal life, I'm gay as fuck. Okay?
I'm gay as
I've
fuck.
actually never been with a man, and that includes sexually. I've never slept with a man or anything like that. I've never been in a relationship with a man. I have only been with women all of my life. And so
nobody asked her to do this. She's doing this on her own. Just know that I never threatened to out her. I never said anything. Okay? This person chose to start with me. Leave me and my subliminals alone. I made subliminals about people that...
So she's admitting to making subliminals, but when there's a subliminal thrown at her, she doesn't really like it, which is fine. You should respond. But my question is also to anybody out there who is gay or LGBT, what does it mean to be gay as fuck? Like, are there degrees to gayness? Is she considering herself the cream of the crop of gay? Like really, really, really gay? Like, and if somebody who was really, 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 really gay as fuck, wouldn't you be responding to a dude like Young Pharaoh who's shooting down everything about your people, your gay as fuck community? Is there someone who's lesbian as fuck? Why does she choose gay as fuck as opposed to lesbian? Are there some people who are bisexual as fuck? Are there some people who are trans as fuck and queer as fuck and I as fuck and NIA alphabet as fuck? What does that mean to be gay as fuck? And I guess it means gay from day one. And she says she's only been with women. What about girls? What about when you were 16? Were you with women? What about when you were 15? Were you with women?
Interview Young Pharaoh and kiss his ass. People that interview Young Pharaoh and allow him to disrespect a community that they're in. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay? So take accountability for the fact that you allowed this man to come on your platform and just demolish. Just pay attention.
don't hold the same mindsets as most women do when it comes to men. I see what I see. I see my friends, my family members, my associates being.
Isn't that weird? You have someone who's a lesbian commenting on, trying to support or judge the heterosexual situation, and then commenting on it based on her friends and what she sees and what other people. This is like a white person, commenting about the black community without ever living around, without ever talking, without really being in that community, just based off of what they heard. You know what I'm saying?
Relationships with men. Sometimes they're great relationships, wonderful relationships, and sometimes they're really bad and very toxic. So I see things objectively, but I also see both sides. I always try to see both sides because I know in my experience in being with women,
which has nothing to do with this, but did she see both sides of the Nature Boy and Velvet situation? Was she looking at both sides? Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't looking at all of her videos like that, but based on her relationship and her interview with Velvet, there was no looking at both sides. There was no respecting Nature Boy's side. It was all, we understand, Velvet. We're here to support you, Velvet. Women like you need to speak out, Velvet. I'm here for you. My platform is all about you, Velvet. We support the women, Velvet.
Women can be very toxic as well. I know that there's this term that has gained a lot of popularity over the past few years. It's called narcissism. I believe the good doctor, Sam Vaknin, has been a great champion of helping people to understand
Sam who?
what narcissism and what narcissists are really like.
I'm not going to play this all, y'all.
The core and roots of those disorders and
Okay, so she's speaking of Sam Vaknin.
Sam Vaknin
is a man that I use in all of my videos where I expose narcissism.
Oh, really?
One thing about the T is when she learns something from you, if she ever has a friendship, relationship with you, anything, she'll take little bits and pieces of your information and then just take credit for it. Sam Vaknin, now she puts him in her clips where she's calling Nature Boy a narcissist, right? But I need you guys to pay attention to what she says in this video, and I will point out the contradictions. She says something about nobody has any right to call young Pharaoh a narcissist, but yet she sits and records Nature Boy all day and calls Nature Boy a narcissist. Why can't you call Pharaoh a narcissist that's displaying the same behaviors, if not worse?
Abilities and how they affect and impact people's lives. And so we're learning a lot from people like him. There's been a outpouring of narcissistic coaches, even on platforms such as YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, etc.
You remember when you hired that narcissistic coach, the fraud that I made a video about? I didn't say a name. I did not say a name. I came on and I was like, I hate fraud, narcissistic coaches that try to take money from you and abuse you when you're already trying to heal, blah, blah, blah. I made a video like that. The T and her dumbass, who is supposed to be like this with me, right? She's upset with me, so she wants to get back at me. So what does she do? She contacts the life coach that I was exposing without saying her name. I just said there's life coaches out here. In the comment section, people were like, who are you talking about, Sweet Mom? Who is it? Who is it? It was Healing Day by Day, some lady that's always in the camera, and she's talking about narcissism, who is quite odd. She deletes her comment section because she does not like Narc victims or people that are healing to talk in the comment section, because she says that we're taking away from her paper, we're taking away from her money. The minute I saw that woman say that that's why she doesn't allow people to chat in her comment section, that's why she deletes, she removes comment posts on Instagram, because she doesn't want us to build together, I called her out. I didn't say her name. The T went through my comments, read the comments, and saw other people saying, are you talking about Healing Day by Day? And then I was like, yup. The T went and reached out. Yup, let me get back on camera so you guys, because I'm not even looking at the camera. The T reached out to Healing Day by Day, a narcissistic awareness coach or whatever that charges like $500 a visit. And the T tells her that I made a video. So this narcissistic coach.
Wow, this is weird. So what I'm noticing in the chat, a lot of people are confused as hell, confused as fuck, right? You're confused as fuck, which is like the pinnacle. That's like you can't be no more confused as that, right? Just like somebody's gay as fuck, you can't be no gayer than the gayest gay of all gaydom. Confused as fuck about this because they were trying to figure out, like, wait a minute, what's so wrong? And maybe part of the thing that's going to add to the confusion is the fact that the T took down the videos that would have given you all a little bit more context to what Sweet Ma is talking about, which makes Sweet Ma look crazy right now, right? Which may have been a strategy, it may have been intentional. Those videos on the T's channel could just be private, not really deleted or taken down. And all we see is Sweet Ma reacting. All we see is Sweet Ma reacting and maybe reacting emotionally, looking crazy. And so I even had to check myself. I'm like, hold up, Sweet Ma, you looking like a crazy Ma. You're looking like a off balance Ma. Talking about the T. You know what I'm saying? What's the T going? What's the T? Is the T scolding you? Is the T scolding you? What you talking about, the T? Well, I don't even see no videos on the T's channel. What the hell are you talking about, Sweet Ma? Are you sure you're not the narcissist, Sweet Ma? I don't know. All types of thoughts may go through your head as you watch this video by Sweet Ma talking about the T in such a manner, who tries to stay private, who keeps her private stuff. And without the videos on the T channel, everybody's like, what the hell is Sweet Ma talking about? She got to be not Sweet Ma, but crazy Ma, deranged Ma, insane Ma, making shit up Ma. Like, what's good, Ma? But we see and we hear the voice now. We hear the voice of this video. Luckily, she recorded some of it because nobody would ever know what in the world Sweet Ma is talking about unless you actually saw the T's video. Unless any of you saw the T's video that's now deleted.
His coach makes 10 videos about me. You guys go back in my my old videos.
So this coach that coaches against narcissism, I guess, began making videos about Sweet Ma for life after she claims that the T ratted on this other YouTuber. Wow.
A video calling out somebody. It was the T all along. T, you asked for this. You should have never called me out. So anyways, this narcissistic abuse coach made 10 videos calling me out. Fuck you, Sweet Ma, bitch. That's why you got a nose ring trying to copy me. I was like, a narcissistic abuse coach is saying that I copied her because I wear a nose ring? This is not normal. So anyways, I'm gonna tell you right now how I figured out it was the T that informed her. Because I'm gonna tell you, I have something called it's like a gift. I don't know, it's not intuition, it's something else. I literally was trying to figure out who did this to me, who contacted this woman that is now making 10 videos about me, and she's supposed to be a professional. And I remember laying in bed that night, and it was like 5 a.m. I woke up and I turned on to my YouTube, and the first video I see is from Healing Day by Day, the narcissistic awareness coach. And I press the video and I'm watching it. She's talking shit about me again. And she goes, shout out to my new Patreon. Patreon is something where you pay for to be a part of. In order to speak to this woman, you have to pay her. So the T paid to contact this woman to tell her about me. Okay, and this is supposed to be my friend. We'll get into it. If she want to take it there, we'll go all the way. Okay? I'm ready. You want to call me a narcissist? When I sit out here all the time, putting my safety at risk because I'm speaking of other people that are narcissists, and narcissists are dangerous, okay? You got to be careful. And I'm going to chill out on talking about it because clearly, look at what happened to me, befriending somebody like the T. Befriending, if you know what I mean. Anyways, the T You got caught out. Every time you fuck with me, you get it back tenfold. I'm telling you. You reached out to that lady. That lady embarrassed herself and lost invisible clients because she made 10 videos about me and put my name in it. Okay? What up, Leah? Sis, don't worry.
That's interesting. That's interesting, y'all. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
Throughout that video. Do you think that she was shading Golden Beauty every time she would be like, get a job, stop depending on a man to take care of you, da 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 da. Golden Beauty is going to school so that she can better herself. That's what she's doing already. So who are you giving advice to? She already knew to do that. So your advice is,
Yeah, and it's very difficult for somebody who's never been with a man, right? To start judging and advising people on how to do with a man, how to handle a man, and what to do not do with a man. And whether or not anybody needs advice specifically from the T is something they would have to ask themselves. Like, what qualifications do you have to give that advice? You know, who are you? What relationship do you have? And is this advice unsolicited or not?
And what are my thoughts on this, that, and the other? My thoughts are multifaceted. And they're not focused on just this one young couple that is going through a very dark period in their lives right now. We've all been there. And that's the truth of the matter. But we all haven't been there publicly. We all haven't been putting our lives and our issues out.
Do you hear how she's making excuses for young Pharaoh because he's young? I could have sworn that some of the women at Carbon Nation are younger than young Pharaoh, but yet you're exploiting them and screen recording their lives and reposting it, making fun of them, putting funny titles for your video. Nobody cares when Nature Boy goes on a date with the Baba Jets. You want so much attention because everybody thinks you're funny with your whack ass titles, trying to copy other people because you see other people do shit. Now the Baba G's, and then you get mad when other people call them Baba Jets because you came up with it first. Oh, just like I came up with the there's so many things I came up with first and she took them. And there's other people that academics. I do this for academics. What is your academic agenda when it comes to recording a cult? What are we getting from that? Because you said, what are people getting from calling other people narcs or exposing narcissism? What they're getting is a visual of what narcissists.
Yeah, I do. Even though I didn't grow up using these words, I respect people who are exposing narcissists because you get to see how a narcissist in that form behaves, so you can sort of look out for it. You know, as far as what the T is doing with Nature Boy and Carbonation, I guess you can sort of look out for fake cult gurus, and I guess you can look at what their day-to-day life is like to see if they look like or act like regular people too. I don't know.
Abuse looks like, what abusers look like, their behaviors.
Yeah, me
That's
neither.
what they're getting when they watch my videos. Why are you so mad that I'm showing people the behaviors? You know, the behaviors that mimic yours. I can go deep.
Yeah, I may have made a video about people reporting on narcs. Only that, all right, you may become a narc yourself, so be careful. I would never tell people don't make a video about a narc or don't be a narc hunter. I don't get involved in all that. So it sounds as if Sweet Mouth for Life feels as though the T was trying to say, why are you out here calling people narcs? You're not licensed.
The narcissistic things that you have done. Okay, but you want to come for me and say, fuck you. Oh, you're a coward. Oh, you ain't getting no shout out. Bitch, I didn't need no shout out from you.
Capacity. So all of this that we're putting out, you know, years from now, they're going to look back on this and who knows what they're going to think. Who knows where they're going to be. It's not. And people do not just.
Somebody said, yes, she was throwing shade at Golden Beauty. So it wasn't just us thinking that. People in the comment section were thinking it too.
And I just want to say shout out to Sweet Mouth for Life's secretary. Sweet Mouth for Life apparently had a secretary involved in this video in the background, basically spitting facts, adding some more of her information. But what's the secretary's name? Can we get the name of the secretary? Can we do that? Just stop calling her secretary. Hey, secretary, can you hook me up? Hey, secretary, what is it that we will do it? So I'm just saying, I would like the secretary's name for real though, like her name, a nickname, something. Don't just call her secretary, sweet mom.
Are you for Golden Beauty or not? Because it seems like you're only holding her accountable. Get a job, do this, what about Pharaoh? Oh, you only held him accountable in the comment section secretly, where you know that he's not going to take his time because he's a narcissist to read your comment section because it's not his. After 100, yeah, exactly. So you'd be like, if he hit her, then he should be in trouble for that. And then she wrote under, you remember when she was like, oh, I already have an idea of what really happened, but I'm going to keep that to myself. What was that about?
She want to keep it to herself. That's
You have
interesting.
an idea.
So what I want to do now is just forward to the young Pharaoh part, and you all can again go back and look at the the Sweet Mom for Life's video if you like. But I'm gonna play the young Pharaoh part and his interview, a little bit of his interview with the T, since that video has been taken down off of the T's channel suspiciously, conveniently, or maybe just to make Sweet Ma look extra crazy talking about some the T video that's not even there out anymore.
About our commentary about carbonation, the cold or melanation, but outside of that, there's been nothing. That is for sure. Man, Pharaoh, I want to. My mind is all over the place. It's so much. So I want to kind of skip to something else. I know that you used to. One of the things that actually drew me to your channel, the first time I ever saw you on YouTube was watching you debate. That's how I found you.
I could have sworn you found him over watching Nature Boy, and that's it. But that's what she said. That's what she said. She found you because of Nature Boy. Now on this interview where she's sucking you off, she says, I found you from watching your debate videos. Y'all hear me? This woman had the nerve to call me a narcissist. Let me show you what a narcissist really looks like. Excuse me, sounds like, since she's so cowardly and doesn't show her face. You want to call me a coward for subbing you, but yet you sub me? The whole video. You sub me the entire video and you call me a coward for subbing you? I spared you from ever exposing anything about you and the things that you have done to me. I spared you. You should have stayed away and left me the fuck alone. You should have. You chose the wrong one. Somebody that is fearless. I fear God. That's who I fear. I will continue to speak on narcissistic abuse and point out narcissistic behavior since I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to college for psychology like you did. You don't even know much about narcissism because you don't look in the mirror enough, I guess. You will project. Check the way she talks to you guys in the comment section. I hope some of you watch this. There was some chick named Alexis that gave it to her real good.
Free Spirit is in your comment.
Free Spirit is there?
Yeah, she's in your comment.
That's the same girl?
She's one of them with the last night.
Free Spirit? Okay. Well, y'all was laying
Let's get
her
to the young Pharaoh part.
flat out. Flat out. Let's get back into this video right here. She said she knows you because of Nature Boy only. That's how she found you. But now on the interview where she's... Just listen.
You would debate people all the time, and I'm like, damn, I love his debate style. Like that's what drew me in. I didn't discover anything else about anything else that was going on besides that you would debate other intellectuals and you would eat them up. And I respected that because I used to debate politics online, just in like forums and shit back in the day when YouTube.
If anybody watched that interview with young Pharaoh, you know, the one where she said, I'm not deleting it, and if you got a problem with it, fuck you. You know, she said that recently, yesterday or the day before. She said she would not delete that video. Hopefully she'll put it back up so you guys can see for your own selves. In that video, every time young Pharaoh said something, she happened to experience the same thing. We had this conversation earlier. You guys all have that friend. Everybody has that friend that always, if I just bought a brand new Toyota Camry. Are you serious? So did I.
So did I.
Man, my sister just had a baby.
So am I.
No shit. My sister had a baby too. I love to eat roaches for dessert.
So do I.
You gotta be kidding. I live off of roaches. You know that friend that always has that same thing in common with you. Everything that young Pharaoh said, I used to be a nerd. You know what, Pharaoh? I was a nerd too. Young Pharaoh says, I wanted to be a lawyer. Yeah, you want to know what? I was in that world too. Even though I went to school for psychology, I dibble and dabbled. I dibble.
Well, young Pharaoh, the T, trust me, being a lawyer is not all that exciting. You know what I mean? There are many various different lawyers out here like myself. Some of us don't really need to let you know what we're doing as lawyers. It's none of your business. But I understand the desire as a young man, a young Pharaoh, that you may have wanted to be a lawyer. I get it. You too, the T. You may have wanted to do all that. I get it. You know, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. And if you're out here doing your own thing, getting money on your own, that's what I support more than anything else.
Well, then I took the LSAT, you know. Everything young Pharaoh said, she said, I did too. Oh, yeah.
Circumcision.
I was just, you got circumcised? Golly gosh, gee. I was just making an appointment to get a circumcision my damn self.
Thank y'all for pressing that like button.
Nothing. It was, nobody was paying it any attention.
Straight up.
Thank you so much for that. That soundbite of just, that's truth.
Listen to how she sounds talking to me in this professional interview. She says it's professional.
That soundbite of just, that's truth. When we set up the interview, I noticed that I see. Well, I'm not surprised that they're not trying to pick up. I will say this: you are very eloquent when you do your debates, and you display a enormous measure of patience that I do not possess. So I have a high respect for that. You let people speak their piece, and you sit there, you take notes. You are in your mind you can see the wheels turning. You are ready, and so I respect that style of debate so very much. And it's very hard for people to. It takes a very specialized type of mind to be a really good debater. You have that down. I will say that as someone who has been through the system, I've been to college and everything, and so I can, when I look at certain men like yourself, teachers online, and I don't consider many men teachers online. I will have to correct that. But when I look at men like yourself and I see your passion for knowledge, for educating yourself, for reading books, not being afraid to pick up books, and not being afraid to read a wide range of books. You don't just read Egyptology. You don't just
get off this dude's nuts.
You try to master many subjects so that you can, converse with people of different cultures. And so I have a high level of respect for that. And in a university system, they wouldn't know what to do with you. I can just tell you that right now.
That's why we got our own university. And
just going back and forth with the white media online, and they don't really do that anymore because I feel like it will empower.
I don't know why this thing slowed down a little bit. But anyway, I guess this thing slowed down a little bit. I'm not sure what that's about. But all this to say, he ends up ranting and raving about LGBT. He ends up doing all of that ranting and raving about LGBT and a black woman. And it is what it is. That's her interview with young Pharaoh that I never saw that ended up on ended up being deleted off her page altogether. And
Black people too much.
They know that they are not really smart. That's what it comes down.
So she allows young Pharaoh to disrespect.
Not only can they not psychologically battle with me, you are not as tough as me. You can't survive the environments I'm in. So I'm better than you in two areas. I'm more man than you. I'm more disciplined than you. I'm more righteous than you.
yeah, and young Pharaoh could not say any of those things to me. I don't know who he's talking about. Young Pharaoh can't tell me that he's more disciplined than me. Young Pharaoh can't tell me he's whatever. If he's been through something in jail, it wasn't out of his own choice and volition. You know, he survived jail because he was put there, not because he decided, let me just get up in here and see if I can survive this environment. Plenty of people survive the jail environment. I hope only people who survive jail would use that with only other people who had to survive jail, because some people didn't survive jail. Some people go to jail and start bending over. Some people go to jail and become, you know, a cum bucket for these weirdo dudes. So people who have been to jail should never brag about your experience and try to use that as evidence of some manhood or survivorship against people who never got caught or against people who never been to jail. So, you know, cut that jail part out. So that's
And I'm
interesting.
smarter.
She's allowing him.
He's on his bag. Let's see what else he says here.
I'm gonna play that back. Do you hear that? She said she was reading comments where somebody asked a simple question: what do you do for the community? And that is a valid question, because all this dude does is wear jewelry and rap, collect donations for things that you never actually see. Did you ever see a daycare? The Sandra Bland situation? Did you ever see anything like
Yeah,
that?
I want to make that abundantly clear. Can't no dude really talk about you more disciplined than me. Very, I don't know, no, there's a lot of little dudes, I don't know. Because my discipline started at when I was 10, 11 years old. You know, again, I don't go around comparing myself. But if I start hearing some little nigga talking about he more disciplined than me or smarter than me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He talks about Egyptology. I've been there and lived there in Egypt, what they call Kemet, for 3 months. I was there living back to back. Again, I'm not comparing myself. I don't say I'm smarter than nobody. I don't say I'm sharper than nobody unless like somebody from Harvard want to act like they smart, and they might be. Intelligence comes in different forms, right? Intelligence, book smarts, social understanding smarts, musically smarts, and he's sharp with the music. He ended up studying some martial arts, which is what, Muay Thai, right? And it's the martial arts from Thailand that young Pharaoh started training in, and I respect that. But guess what? I've been to Thailand at least 5 to 6 times. I've seen live fights. I started fighting that same style based on what I saw when I was walking the streets of Thailand. Again, I'm not comparing, but can't nobody really tell me, you know, and I'm not buying nothing about no manhood because I survived the prison jail. Because that's a separate conversation, and that's only a conversation that people who went to jail can relate to. Or, you know, that ain't nothing I could talk about.
The YouTube court case. Do you guys know that that court case was X'd out over 9 months ago?
Dismissed.
But yet 2 months ago, he was still saying that it's active. It's not active. Yeah, I got the receipts.
Excuse me for being assaulted.
Listen to this shit.
You teach,
She was being
Yeah,
rude
just let
to-
her talk. Let's let her talk, young
and I
man.
find comments like that to be so ignorant. Excuse me for being insulting, but not really. It's ignorance, because what he's doing for his community is he's building himself up. He's building up his brand. He's leaving behind a legacy for his children.
Building yourself up, building up your brand, doing something for the community. I don't get into what people are doing for community. Number one, because charitable giving or benevolence in and of itself is never evidence of anything. If someone is out here giving to the homeless and recording themselves, all right, but that doesn't make you necessarily a good or better person. And you shouldn't be using vulnerable people in the community as evidence, right? As your evidence for what you're doing. Like, look at that over there. See, look at me giving money to the homeless. Give me my community props. Look at me over there helping this girl. You know what I'm saying? This stupid ass this girl that couldn't even finish school. I gave her money for tuition. You know what I'm saying? Give me my community props. See what I'm saying? I got this community. I got a whole university over here for people to come study. Give me my whole community props, and I'm gooder than you. I'm gooder than you. Meanwhile, what? The Catholic Church does more charity than a lot of people. The Catholic Church, churches with crooked pastors, they do a lot for the people out here. Presidents, you know, they make some laws out here. They drop rice, even though countries in Africa ain't asking for that kind of rice or rice. They'll go over and drop rice. They go around helping people out with AIDS and HIV, but what kind of people are they, right? What kind of people are they? You got that dude that was just convicted, thrown in jail, a dude by the name of Ed Buck. He's an LGBT activist for the Democrats. Ed Buck, a white dude, giving a lot of money to Democrats. But what was he just convicted of? He was convicted of killing 2 black men, shooting them with methamphetamine, getting them high so they would overdose and maybe act real sexually crazy. And these are poor, vulnerable, nature boy types, right? Gay escort. Some of them are gay escort type of black men that this LGBT leader and donor, activist, Democrat ended up killing 2 and terrorizing a whole slew of other black, young, and older men on the street who are desperate. So be careful. Even for people who claim to be doing good, that could really just be a cover for you never questioning whatever bad that they really might be doing, that which bad might overshadow all the good that they ever did.
That's the best thing that I think each of us individually should be doing for our community is uplifting ourselves, and then we uplift each other. We see success and we should want to encourage that.
So did you hear this fights? Because you said you only watched him because of Nature Boy. Did we not play that?
Let's hear Young Pharaoh talk.
Okay, so you guys, I kid you not, she was telling him, guess what? I'm a nerd too. I was a nerd too. Nerds' lives matter. The T, everything Young Pharaoh said.
Yeah, let Young Pharaoh talk it. I guess Young Pharaoh's done talking. But it's interesting, y'all.
He checked his ass and embarrassed him, and he apologized. Let's keep that same energy.
On what?
You know what? What is it that she needs to hold?
Accountability.
What is it?
Into dog masculinity. Y'all will dog a nigga like. Let me get somebody before I end.
Yeah, this is an interesting part.
Because y'all been doing this shit since the 19th.
Watch this. Check this out.
With the homosexuality. But Dwayne Wade is pussy.
Let's check this out, yeah.
Why couldn't you have that same energy with Young Pharaoh? Just a question.
All I'm telling you is stupid.
Interesting questions.
And I apologize to the panel, anybody got offended, but if y'all heard what I said I have a nephew that's gay.
And you the motherfucker that tied my...
Yes, keep that same energy. Why is it that when Young Pharaoh is on your platform, you allow Young Pharaoh to diss the entire LGBTQ community
This is a trip.
without stopping?
This is a
to
trip.
say, you might offend some of my viewers. No, you didn't say that. But you said that to a gentleman that is an actual supporter of yours.
Ooh, let's hear that part, and I'll end it. I'll end this video here, y'all. By the way, it's almost over, so we can go to work.
8 months ago, the T went live. And on that live, I can remember it clear as day. That's why I went back and I screen recorded it. Don't come for somebody like me, the T. Don't ever come for me again. And I've warned you multiple times. Multiple times. Every time you fucked with me, karma would instantly hit you back. Immortal karma will hit you instantly.
Yeah, cut all that carbonation will fall talk. Man, ain't nobody falling carbonation. Carbonation has been held up this whole time. Someone said if the T is shut down, then carbonation will fall. All that is nonsense talk. I don't believe it whatsoever.
Instantly back. Every time. The T. And I don't purposely try to do anything to harm her. She just comes for me, and naturally God will, or the universe, I don't know how, it just hits her back. I remember this live clearly. There's a gentleman on there that he kind of makes a little bit of commentary on LGBTQ, but not really. And just listen to this.
Say, don't fuck Nicki Minaj. Don't watch that shit. Don't fuck with that girl. Tongue kissing. Then I change to Israelite. But until then, I remain a believer in that book, because that book the only thing to talk about our people today, and I see it crystal motherfucking clear on Paru. And I'm done.
But in Corinthians 13:4, it says you accept everybody. I can say something real quick. This is not that type of panel, okay? I let you go off, Yashua, just because I wanted you to get out everything you needed to get out, and then
I'm sorry, sis.
and it was good.
I apologize.
But the T has a lot of different viewers, but very diverse audience, very diverse crowd. Not everybody is going to follow what you follow. And there are a lot of gay people. There are a lot of gay people, and there are a lot of straight people. And I'm sure bisexuals as well that follow this channel. And so I don't want the whole entire group to feel disrespected by your viewpoints, regardless of where they derive. So I just want to say I don't want to continue on the whole entire, day topic. That's a topic for a whole different day. And
yes, ma'am. I understand. I apologize to the panels, anybody that offended. But if y'all heard what I said I have a nephew that's gay.
And you the motherfucker that tied my...
Yes. Keep that same energy. Why is it that when Young Pharaoh is on your platform, you allow Young Pharaoh to diss the entire LGBTQ community without stopping to say,
wow,
you might offend some of my viewers? No, you didn't say that. But you said that to a gentleman that is an actual supporter of yours, one that actually follows your channel. You stopped your live to embarrass him and tell him not to speak like that because you might be offending people of the community. Why couldn't you have that same energy with Young Pharaoh? Just a question.
All I'm telling your stupid ass to do is let me loose so I can help your stupid ass. So we want all black women to know, do not support the LGBTQ, do not support Black Lives Matter, and do not support homosexuality. This don't mean I want to fight with homosexuals. If you feel like that's the way of life, all I'm saying is go do it over there. Why you got to do it over here? All I'm saying is respect my space. But to any black woman supporting these movements, all I'm saying is
the T's right there.
Call me when these movements let you down. Don't call me when these movements fail you. It's all fun and games with Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade now with the homosexuality, but Dwayne Wade is pussy. If a nigga kick his door and try to rob him, he gonna be hiding with Gabrielle. So what do you want, black woman? What do you want? Do you want a nigga that's gonna respond to the threat? Or do you want a nigga that's gonna act like afraid with you? That's what you gotta decide on. If you're supporting Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ, you are supporting the deletion of who the fuck is gonna fight for you and protect you, your daughters, or whoever. Period. Y'all gotta choose. Black women have to stop being disloyal to masculinity, dog. Because y'all been doing this shit since the 1900s with the feminist movement. And
he's saying this in the T's interview that's been deleted or taken down off of the T's channel.
you're getting ready to do it all over again. All these fucking celebrities, all these fucking superstar, convincing y'all mother.
You see how she's just allowing him to go on? She not once ever did a disclaimer. The views of young Pharaoh are not the views of the T. You stopped your show to embarrass a guy, to tell him that you did not approve of his commentary on the LGBTQ. We got some people in my audience that may be offended. Of course, it's not anybody's business what your preference is. You know, you chose to put it out there. Nobody forced you to. So please, nobody say that I'm a bully. If I was a bully, I would have called her out a long time ago.
To support homosexuality and to dog masculinity. Y'all will dog a nigga like. Let me get somebody before I end. Cause I gotta drive this to your femininity. But I can't give you that if you trying to rob me of my masculinity on behalf of a nigga who don't even want his. So let's get it together, y'all. Let's get it together. And I know that was a long ass answer, but I've got a lot of shit to say. So there you go.
Hey, thank you for that answer. And people in the comments, you guys need to understand that this is an interview and Pharaoh's expressing his thoughts and opinions on.
You see? She does not keep the same energy.
She's not responding as if she's gay as fuck, or she's putting her gay as fuck aspect of her personal life to the side just so young Pharaoh can get his opinions out. Again, the same opinions that he's always spit, the same opinions that most people watching on the T's channel have already heard from young Pharaoh. Not an opinion that's exclusive only for the T, that the T has to shut herself down. And that's what happens a lot. I've said sometimes on this channel that some of the most homophobic people are gay folks themselves who are on the down low, like Nature Boy, right? People on the down low, they really, really gay, but they want to try to perform and seem as if they're straight, I guess as a means of not being criticized for their gayness. But people who are gay got to learn to stand strong. This is a test. It's always a test at each point. If you're black and you're sitting there with a white person and they start going off about how fucked up a nigger is or how fucked up black people are, and you sit there in an interview or whatever conversation that's recorded, you sit there and you don't say shit and you just let it ride. It's the same, almost the same thing as if you happen to be L or G or B or T or Q or I or A, and you're sitting in a conversation with somebody that's just basically taking a dump on all of it and challenging black women also. Like, what do y'all want? Y'all are the ones out here supporting Black Lives Matter, taking the lead of Black Lives Matter. Y'all are the one doing y'all thing, trying to leave us men out. So now it's a weird situation where this young lady gave young Pharaoh a platform to talk his talk, but she kept that inside, and it was probably killing her, to her soul maybe, that he was speaking this way about her in two different ways, her as a black woman and her as a lesbian, which she only recently came out and we shared here on this channel using her own voice, where she says, let's just get something straight. I'm gay as fuck. Now, the concern now will be, is she all of a sudden going to be gay as fuck in all her videos now? Is she all of a sudden going to choose to put and prioritize her gay as fuckness over all things, all other things? Or is she going to continue to, despite having openly admitted she's gay as fuck, which is going to get her a lot of DMs from a lot of gay as fuck women? Because if you gay as fuck, you're going to go after yours. You're going to go after yours. You're going to holler. You may be aggressive with yours. You may be butch about yours. If you gay as fuck, are you going to be gay as fuck, or only if you worried your gayness might come out and you want to jump the ball, you want to lead the way? I'm not here to discuss or care about anybody's gayness. I do think it's interesting once you find out. I think it's interesting how you end up finding out somebody's gay, and I think it's interesting how or if that person's behavior or attitude changes now that it's now all out in the open, despite it having been deleted from your own channel. Maybe another channel should be created called Gay as Fuck T, right? Maybe that should be another name of a channel, Gay as Fuck Tea. And then you're gonna be wondering, well, can tea be really gay? Like, is that possible for the tea you drinking to be gay? So this is a wild morning. A lot of y'all have work to do. A lot of y'all don't have work to do. And I'm just gonna go back and do my work. Thank you all for coming here today. Thank you for pressing that like button. Don't forget to press it when you're heading out. And just keep an eye open and realize, you never know who people are until you get to know who people are. And even then, you may be surprised. Even then, you may be disappointed. Even then, you may be let down. And again, because a lot of people aren't really fully comfortable with who they are until it really matters, I guess. And this is your boy Marwan, and I'm saying mind over matter. No matter where you at, make sure you and who you are is being honored. And if it's not, let it be known. And stay consistent with it. Be sharp with it. And treat people who are close to you, treat them nice, treat them well. Treat them like you want to be treated. But damn, if shit turns around and shit starts hitting the fan, man, y'all is in trouble. This is your boy Marwan here, covering the issue between Sweet Mouth for Life and the T channel, who has come out in more ways than one, come out using her voice now, starting to interview people, right? A lot of people think that just because you got a channel, you're all of a sudden some professional journalist who can interview people now. And coming out as an interviewer, as someone who, openly cares about victims, and also coming out as the type to be like, fuck you if you don't like it, fuck you. And also being the type to come out as being gay as fuck, whatever that might actually mean. And this is your boy Marwan. Straight as fuck, but I'm pretty sure I've let that be known already here, so there's never really been any confusion. And I will always make it a point to remind folks, because you live in a world where what? Niggas is gay, man, and they not saying shit, or they hiding it. And even if somebody comes out and says, hey, I'm straight, nigga, they could be lying. But it's all about being consistent, not really about being convenient. And this is your boy Marwan, Mind Over Matter TV. One love, y'all. Peace out.